why a liquidator has no choice but to seek to deal with and address an overdrawn director's loan account. Now, I've dealt with this before, and there have been comments made in response by various parties, which is absolutely fine, but the purpose behind this is about the issue of a liquidator attempting to realise an overdrawn director's loan account. Now, it is not, contrary to what some people may envisage, an unfair position. It is in fact a fundamental issue. It is extremely common in liquidations. Indeed, in some cases it's estimated that up to something like 75% of liquidations, where they're insolvent liquidations, that is, that there will be an overdrawn director's loan account. An overdrawn director's loan account, asset of the company, the director owes that money to the company. And if you look at the legislation in terms of what the job of liquidator is quite a varied job, lots of different aspects to it in terms of corresponding with creditors, giving them an opportunity to provide information in relation to the conduct of the directors, reporting to the insolvency service on the conduct of the directors, all sorts of different things, no different but just completely separate legislation. But in principle, the point is regulation, legislation, all sorts of matters that liquidators have to do. If you're director of a company, there are all sorts of things you have to do. File accounts, confirmation statement, deal with all sorts of red tape. Liquidation job, lots of red tape, different regulations, Insolvency Act as opposed to the Companies Act, etc., etc., etc. But the key point that I'm coming to is this, that if you have an overdrawn director's loan account, one of the jobs of the liquidator, without any question in any way, shape or form, is to realise the assets of the company. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that all assets are going to be realised. It may not be commercially viable for them to be realised. For example, an asset might be a piece of litigation against somebody in foreign jurisdiction. There's going to be, if there's no money in the company and there's an asset sitting in, for argument's sake, Panama, for instance, liquidator may struggle to start bringing proceedings to recover assets in Panama unless we're talking mega sums, getting litigation funding and so on. So success in realising assets is not the same as attempting to realise assets. Now, where an overdrawn director's loan account is concerned, the liquidator is duly obliged to attempt to resolve the matter and to ask for it in principle for it to be repaid for the benefit of the creditors of the company. Now, there is no getting away from this in any way, shape or form. It is a fact of life. It's an obligation of the liquidator, and the liquidator would be negligent if they didn't do it. It's as simple as that. So it is not a matter of fairness, it's not about unfairness, it's simply about a liquidator doing their job. Questions, queries, concerns, give us a shout. We know insolvency inside out.